Alright, we are back. And we're hoping to take on a little bit of the mid-game troika, if we can, today. Let's take a look. This was as we saved. It has been a little while for me, so I'm just going to take a look at my stats again and see where we are. Okay. Alright, so still not quite on the level 5 spells yet. That's okay. If this wasn't Grey Wolves, I'd be fighting, because I will be trying to get a little bit more experience as we go towards the mid-game troika, as they call it, as Sula and a few of the other really hardcore players of this game call it. Yeah, I'll take these guys on. I should have a harm charge yet and fire 2 charge. Let me just confirm that, I guess, but I should have those. Yes. And, okay, a Diara is harm 2, but that harm 1 should be fine. If I can just do a little bit of damage, there we go. That should, combined with the harm spell, that should take out that guy, and the harm spell may actually wipe out all the other ones. Ooh, not quite, but the black belt's gonna attack that one. And yeah, so not quite enough for those guys. That's okay though. There we go. This will get us at least back to Melmond. Where we can use the inn and save and all that other good stuff. I'm going to take a look at my equipment and see if there's anything I need to sell or anything that I need to pick up. Okay, I do have some things I can sell, which is nice to see. I have some weapons I can sell. Do I have some extra armor I can sell? Yeah, and actually, is the Great Helmet better than the Mithril helmets? Let me take a look and see. Oops, I need to check the status. So we have 4131 for that. $42.33. Okay. Alright, so the silver helmet is better than the great helmet. Glad I checked that. There shouldn't be anything else that I'll need to do there. Great, and let me check the evade on him. Defense 15. So it's still better than his natural, so we're gonna keep it that way for now. Alright, so let's get rid of this staff. Yes. And let me see about the weapon attack of that sword. 3458. Okay, it's the same. But I will keep it, because now finally they do have an effect. Finally, these things do have an effect, so we will, we'll keep those on. I may get a... Can I buy silver armlets yet? No, I can't buy anything better here. Let me see if I can buy silver armlets. If I can, yeah, I will do so. And I think you need it. Let me double check. Yes. So I can sell off that extra copper armlet and the other armor from my black belt. Yes. Because he needs all the absorb that I can get for him. And he doesn't have anything extra. So I think we're okay for everything. Yes, we're okay for everything. So let's head towards the Castle of Ordeal. I am going to double check how much experience, how close we are. 798, 544. I may quickly snatch level 12 for a couple of those characters here. Let me see if I can just get that without too much trouble here. I'll fight a few battles just to try to get that next level up. Yeah, if I can get about 119, should just be 5 or 6 battles like this. And yeah, these are going to be ambushed often. This will just help us get a little bit more in the way of hit points before we have to head off to that Castle of Ordeals. Harm 2 or Fire 2, either of these will take them all out when they fire. That should take all of them out. No problem. And again, 100 points. I knew we were getting close, so we'll just knock these out quickly here. I'm also going to double check my supply of soft potions and pure potions and the like. And I'm sure this is not very exciting to watch. And I won't get the level up for the Black Mage because he's just too far away from the next level. Ooh, I'd like those 5 and 6 groups. I don't like these 3 group as much. I'd much rather have the larger group so I can rake in a little bit more on the experience. Or battles like the Green Ogres. I didn't want to risk doing it down in the Earth Cave. Well, that would have netted me the experience a little bit faster. Not going to worry with these guys. They're not worth it. Let's hope we get a first round run. Here we go. Here's a good one for us. There we go. I don't think Lazara will actually take him out unless the intelligence stat helps get that doubling boost on all of them. Well, it's really just that third one that I needed to double on. Yeah, there we go. That's the one I needed to double. So that's good for me. And this should be, yeah, good. 168 points. Alright, there's the White Mage, level 12, and the Black Belt should be next, and should be just a couple more battles. Okay, we'll take on the Tiger. I'll check the equipment that I need, because I'll need to be heading straight south from Elfland anyway. And then maybe we'll just get that last battle on the sea. Item, potion, antidotes, gold needle. Yeah, I'll need some of both of those. So we'll go for that. Oh, actually, I need to head over to Crescent yet, don't I? I haven't got the canoe. I haven't picked up the canoe. So I'll have to head over to Crescent Lake to get that. That's fine. Let me confirm where that is. Yeah. Yep. So I have to head down this coast. I'll stop by Elfland on the way over to pick up the softs and the antidotes that I need. Because the Castle of Ordeals does have a few of those things that I need. And hopefully we'll get that level 12 en route to Crescent Lake. Alright, so we have some evasion from the Red Sahag, or the Sahagan Chief. That should get our, okay, 201. That's a pretty good jump. Let me make sure, oh, he has a level 5 charge now, shoot. Alright, what am I doing? While I'm over here, I'll grab the items I need from Elfland, and then I will have to head back to get the stuff I need. I will have to go back and get a spell there. I didn't realize that he was going to get that level 6, or that level 5 charge at level 12. I would like to be able to fill that charge, so let's do it. Let's do just that. And his level 4, can he get any other decent level 4 spell while we're down here? He's got everything we need from level 3. I don't know if there was anything else very useful in the level 4 arena, but I'll check while I'm here. Oops, I should buy 10. Fill up our potions. Let's see, will it let me buy them? $79. I'll just buy these till he won't let me buy any more. Okay. There we go. I didn't realize that you have to reselect buy 10. I was actually just buying one. I bought 10 and then 1, then 1, then 1, then 1, then 1. So I've got to watch out for that next time. Okay. Let me buy 10 antidotes. And I'll buy a couple of softs. I think that'll put me at 6 softs. And I have enough sleeping bags for saving purposes. Is there anything else decent in this Poisona, Vox, Fear, Bar Ice? No, there really isn't anything. I don't plan on using Fear on any bosses. We should be able to handle the bosses. And he's got those, so that's all I'll need for those guys. So I have to head back to Melmond, though, because I do want to pick up a level 5 spell for the White Mage, although I can't remember off the top of my head what we have for level 5 spells for them. Yeah, I don't think these guys aren't weak to Thunder. I don't think they're weak to anything. But this will just help take them out more quickly, and then I can get to Crescent by heading west from Melmond, I believe, is a little bit faster. But the Black Mage, so I seem to be getting the doubling multiplier more with the intelligence stat, so that's good, that it adds it to your chance to double. I think that's an okay way to do it. I don't know if that makes them OP or not. I mean, Black Mages would have to really get pumped up a lot to be considered OP or anything close to OP, because they're so squishy. So you would really have to buff them up quite a bit before you could call them anything near overpowered. But yeah, we're getting the good multiplier. There. Alright, here we go. I'll fill up my charge there. And here we go. Yeah, there we go. These are the things I need. These are spells I want. I'll want 3 of these. And I'm going to go for life. And I'm going to go for cure 3. And I'm going to go for harm 3. Not going to go for heal 3. But that's excellent. That's excellent. I'll need all of those. I do not mind spending all my money on them. What can the Black Mage learn? He can learn Warp. Okay, so when we come back from the Castle of Ordeals, I'll have to pick up Warp for him. Yes, when we come back from the Castle of Ordeals, I'll have to pick up Warp for him. Or maybe even after Crescent. By that time, he may have picked up that extra level. I don't want to go into that little inner area. I need to head south and then straight to the west. Because it will be a few thousand for the Black Mage. But we can all use some levels, so I'll be fighting most of the battles as we go down, although I will be happy when I don't have to fight the sea battles anymore. Let me confirm how far away from Crescent I am. Make sure I'm on the right coordinates. Yeah, actually, just a little bit south should get me right to the dock that I need to land on. Right to the port that I need. And just casting the Lit 2 spell just to clear the field. These guys aren't really any threat to do anything but waste my time. But I'll be staying at the inn once we get over to Crescent Lake anyway. So this will just clear the field faster. See there, yeah, these guys are weak, and you can see the damages are a lot higher for them. And here's the port for Crescent Lake. And there's some nasty enemies here. Some that can poison you here, which is not great. Trolls are good enemies to fight here, though. Let me see what Fire 1 does. If I can get that to double, that will be more effective than my regular attack. Especially if the trolls are weak to it and it gets the doubling. Fire 1 could actually be a legitimate spell. Instead of just doing 10 to 40, it could be do 15 to 60, and it could be a lot more often rolling on the 60 range, nearer the 60 range than the 15 range, if that's what you're doing with it. So it could actually make those earlier spells viable. Alright, and this round I should get him. There we go, 219 is good total. Alright, I am going to check the equipment to see if there's anything new for me here. Alright, this is all the silver stuff. Does that mean there's a silver sword in the weapon shop? Let's see. Yeah, there's the mithril sword. Yeah, okay. Alright, perfect. And also the mithril hammer. The silver hammer. Let me look and see what we have for that. She already has the silver hammer, does the white mage. But the mithril sword, the silver sword, is a definite step up for my fighter. Let me look at the status. We've got 3458. And it's now 3858. Okay, so it's increased by 4, the attack damage. I can't learn these yet. But, yeah, Invis 2 and Exit, those are the big ones. Yeah, these 3 will be ones that I will want eventually. For black magic, what do we have for black? Here, Bolt 3. Yeah, that's Rub, Quake, Stun, so it'll really be Bolt 3 will be the spell I want from that category, because I don't really use a lot of the instant death ones, especially since you get access to Bane from the Bane sword later on. I think it's this guy who gives me the canoe. There we go. Take the canoe. But I'll be doing the Castle of Ordeals first to get my hands on the on the weapon there, the heal staff. Oops, before I go in here, I need to see what I have. What he already has. Okay, he has Mithril Shield and Mithril Helmet, so if he can get... Okay. Yeah, Mithril Armor. Oh, you know, he won't have room for it. He has to, let's sell off my this, and sell off my this, and let's buy some Mithril Armor, and buy a Mithril Gauntlets. I should have looked to see what the difference would be on it, but did not. Alright, let's rest up and save. I know it's getting expensive. See, I've spent all my money on white magic and that equipment, but it's worth it. Looks like you can still dash with the canoe, which is good news. Alright, this is actually an excellent battle for the leveling that I'm going to be needing to do here. Yeah, nothing there, but I can do Fyra, and that should help on the trolls. Fyra, in addition to the attacks from our physical characters, should take out the trolls, since it'll be doubling. There we go. Now the bull is not weak to fire, so it's not going to be nearly as effective, but at least we can get both of the trolls out of the way in the first battle. And yeah, look how much hit points that took from my black mage. Look how low he got. They're just so squishy. What does that do? Yeah, that'll help. Yeah, that'll get him actually almost to full health. Yeah. And yes, he's still a ways from that next level. He's still a ways from that next level. So actually, I'm going to do this because I do want that spell charge back. I should have done this instead of the spell charge, or used potions, because I am going to be heading to the Castle of Ordeal next. So I should try to save my spell charges on the way over there. Wow, not quite enough to take that one out, huh? I thought my black belt would be able to get him in one hit, but not the case. That's okay. Still not enough, huh? A couple of attacks from the fighter, it's still not enough. You know, my fighter might be getting close to a level up. Actually, I'm gonna heal up a little bit. Yeah, and rather than running back to that inn, otherwise I'll never get anywhere if I run to that inn all the time. I'm gonna get out of this battle because these guys can poison. Yes. So I was hoping to just get out of there quickly. Alright, and I believe to get to Castle of Ordeals, you can head straight south from Elfland. Let me just confirm that. Yeah. Yep. I thought that's what it was. So I'm going to head over to the Elfland neighborhood. I'm just going to get out of this battle. Hopefully it will be a little faster. And I'm doing this in an attempt to preserve my spell charges for the Castle Ordeal. Or if it's called like Castle of Trials, maybe. As I've seen it in some of the other translations. Alright, I'll go ahead and start heading down a little bit. There's a river here that I can hop on from my ship. And some nasty enemies up here, but I just may be able to survive it. Let's see. And it's a river in that little inlet there. See if I can just get the shark quickly. Mage is attacking first. I won't with that speed. It takes all 4. I don't know if that bodes ill for us trying to take out the Council of Ordeals, but here we are anyway, giving it our best shot. Good, got out of there right away. So I'll be able to get a nice clean save right here in front of the castle. Alright, and that's almost everybody full health. And I'll use a potion on the fighter if needed. How did they translate this? Come bearing the crown, yes. We have to take the crown to the throne. And there we get that little, the unlocking sound. I'm going to try not to use the dash in here because I really don't want to risk taking any extra steps. Because any of these battles can be a very quick game over. But I'm going to try to pick up some experience in here on battles that I can win without too much trouble. I thought I'd be able to take out one of them in the first round, but not quite the case. They have a little bit more defense than I had planned. Alright, that's okay. Hopefully if I can get a crit or 2. Alright, 104 that's a nice readout there. Still might not get him in the first round. Nope. The real danger in here is going to be from some of the one-hit kills and the stone-type enemies who will do nasty things like that to me. Alright, I think it's always low. You always go low, except for the one. And I think I remember which one that is. Yeah, I can get down there through here. Yeah, I'll take on this fight. There's a couple things in here that I really, really like. The Zeus Gauntlet and the Heal Staff are both in here. At least they are in the NES version. I can't speak for whether they're in the restored version or not. That I can't comment, but I should say on that I can't comment. But I'll take these battles with experience and gold, if I can. Let's see, is this protected? I believe it is. Yeah. It's one of these. Oh, wow. This one must not have the, yeah, that one didn't have the kind of defense that I thought it did. Gauntlets, yes, that's the one that I want. So let's get the antidote and let's heal up a little bit. Okay, and let's move gauntlets down here. Yeah, let's just give those to him. And I believe it's this one I want to go into next. Yes. And I've got the gauntlet. And then I would need to grab the heal staff. And if this still works the same way, the heal staff is it's one of these double chests. So I'm going to try it. This is a nightmare. This is a trapped square, trap battle. But I think the heal staff is a double chest, where it's in that chest, but it's guarded. But if I don't get it there, then it's in another chest and it's unguarded. So I'm going to ignore that chest and run down to the other one to grab it later. snort. It's just called snort, not called snorting. And that's okay, because snorting just causes darkness status, which does not bother me too much. You know what I should be using instead of having him attack, is I should be using... Oops, nope, I need equip, not item. And I should move that over to the front of his inventory. Let me do that right now before I forget. I'm going to heal up my black belt just a little bit. Okay. I can safely use the dash there. These guys have, I think, a nasty fire attack that they use. So I'm going to have... Okay, so if they do get the fire attack off, it should do a lot less damage. Excellent. That would be doing 4 times as much damage if I hadn't done that. So this could have been game over, or could have knocked out a couple of my mages. Yeah, here we go. So I'm glad I got that attack off, that spell off. So instead of eating 3 fire 2s they got off, I just ended up eating the equivalent of less than 1. Excellent. Alright, let me see his, let's see, defensive 15. What is it now? It is 24, so that's a huge step up. Yes, that's definitely what I want. And Ice Brand. Yeah, I guess I shouldn't have bought that silver sword. I forgot that I was getting these upper level swords, because it's 38.58. And now it's 44.68, and that should put us up to another hit, which is huge. So he'll now get 3 hits, I think. And Steel Gauntlet, does he already have that? No, he doesn't. And he's 38.50 is that. 38.50, and it's now 36.48. Okay, so that was the one I had on before, I guess. It's hard when these are translated differently, so I don't remember them as well. I'm not as familiar with them. There's where the heal staff is going to be in one of those chests right there. This one I'm good because I have access to Harm 2 and Fire 2, either of which should just about take them all out. And they can put you to sleep, yes, if they attack you. These guys can put you to sleep. Fire 2, that's fine, because I have access to Harm 3, because I'll be fighting the zombie dragons. And actually, I should have put them as the next boss. I think I have them as the next boss. I do have access to that sprite. Let's see. Well, doesn't matter. Alright, there he got his level 12, so now I can go back after this and pick up the next level of black spells. Oh, chest is empty. Oh! Alright, so I do have to run back and grab that heal staff. They didn't build that in for me. That's too bad. So that's something to make a note of. Normally the heal staff that's in this chest is also in that other chest. There we go. Okay. So that's what we'll do. Hello, Sonicu. Good morning. Thank you for checking in. Yes, oops, not equip. I need to learn that it's equip, not item in this one. And let's go ahead and just do Fire 2 to toast these guys. So there's no double chests there for the heal staff. So you have to grab it up there. You can't skip it and then run down and pick it up with the other chest. But that's okay. Is the delay less? Is the delay less than normal? That's cool if it is. I've always been a little bit annoyed with how long that Twitch delay can be. If they've turned it down, or if I'm maybe something's changed on my end. I don't know. So this is the first video game time I've gotten in this whole week. In more than a week, I haven't had any game time. Yeah, well, that's good. I'm glad that I got a quick response there after your yawn. Oops, I'm facing down. Okay, so there's the rat tail. Zombie dragons are next. And let's do it. Should be alright. Okay, yeah, it's just one. No problem. I do have my harm 3. And also my fire 2. Whoops. And now the question is, do I dare fight more of them for some bonus experience? I may fight just a couple of them. Just for a little bit more. I'll see if I can get a battle with 2 of them, because I am a little bit under-leveled. No. I can't remember if you can even get a battle with 2. Yeah, and I just had the 1 casting of that spell. Yeah, not much damage from the black belts, unfortunately. Cool. Alright, I'm not going to risk it anymore. I'm just going to head down. And it'll be on to the volcano after I go to Melmond to pick up level 5 black spells for my black mage. I'm just going to heal here quickly. And save. That's the big one, is not really healing, but saving. For me. Oh, these guys are kind of nasty. But I got out of that Rakasha battle, or man-cat, whatever they are, cat-man or man-cat, the ones that cast fire too. I got out of a battle from that earlier. I cast Aether, or Bar Fire, just before they got off a bunch of Fire 2 attacks. So I was able to tank those without getting an instant game over, which it otherwise may have been. My fighter may have survived, but I'm just going to get out of here because these guys are not... These guys are long ago not worth it for me. And hopefully soon I'll be picking up the airship. Maybe the end of this stream I'll be picking up the airship. Depends on how fast I can get through a couple of things. Yeah, this is the first video games I've played for a while, except I did play a little bit with the Blue Marlin last night when I found that sound thing. I saw it mentioned on YouTube and had to kind of play around with it myself, that weird noise channel thing that turns off after you get into a Marlin fight. So that was a funny little bit that I found there. I PM'd the people on YouTube who had posted it just to see if they had any other thoughts about it, or if they want to be contributors, at least in their own capacity. All right, I'm glad I got a little bit of money there because these are going to be expensive. Let's see, and these, okay, and I'll definitely want Fire 3, and can he learn Warp? Okay, yeah, so no, it's just the Black Wizard who can learn Warp. So I'll keep it at Fire 3 for now. I couldn't remember if he could do that, but I knew I wanted Fire 3. I'm also going to head back to Canaria and stock up on tents, or here they're sleep sacks, I guess you would call them in this one. I'm going to grab a few of those and refill my potions before I head over to the volcano, because I'm going to do the volcano in a couple different pieces. So I'll be saving after I do that first treasure room that's on the second floor down. I don't know, you call that B2, I guess. Oops. And my gauntlets. Now armed with the heal staff, it's a lot easier to take on the Volcano, although it's a lot slower. The Volcano's always kind of a slow dungeon when you're using the heal staff every battle, like I will be. So that will really make you yawn if you're watching. Alright, I love that buy 10. Okay, love the buy 10 feature for my potions, so I can just knock them out pretty quick. Yeah, no, I know. I know you yawn just because it's early there, early-ish there. We finally here in this land of mine, we finally just moved the clocks ahead. So we're now back to the usual difference between GMT and the US. We were a few weeks there where we hadn't. North America had jumped ahead, but we had not yet. So there's some time, kind of a strange gap there. But now we're back to the normal difference between North America. So I don't have to do any more weird math when I look at sports game beginning times, or when I try to set up correspondence with friends and family back there. Alright, and let me see if it's... Yeah, it should be faster to head to the west. Yeah, because the Volcano is from Crescent Lake, and then Ice Cave is from that other weird little spot you have to get in the rivers. But I want to be as high level as I can. Oh, I really got all those can't runs. I should have just used the gauntlets, I guess. I should have done that. Run, 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 gauntlets. That way whatever fires gets me out of battle. Wow, that was pretty low damage on that. Oh, that's right. I forgot, in this version, your intelligence stat is not applied when you use equipment. I forgot about that. So, a Lit 2 cast from the Black Mage will have a higher chance of doubling than a Lit 2 cast out of gauntlets, which of course makes sense. Although I don't know if that's how they would have programmed it. Come on. There we go. Gotta get used to those button combinations. I don't know if that's how they would have programmed it on the NES. That may have been an indulgence, but it does make sense. A little bit. Alright, that's okay. Ooh, this battle's too sweet to pass up. And actually, I'll have my White Mage do the heal staff. Oops, it's equipment, not item. I keep wanting to go to item, because I'm used to drink and item as my my primary. I wish that I fired after they'd gotten the attack off, but that's the pacing of FF1 battles. I'm going to move the heal staff up to the top of my White Mage's inventory so I can do that a lot more quickly next time. So get used to that sound. I'm hoping this stream to at least get carry down, and I may also have time to do the Ice Cave. I'd love to do the Ice Cave. Okay, cool. Level 13. Level 13. Good. My Black Mage is way behind on experience, so he won't be getting a level up anytime soon. But, ooh, these guys are piranhas, huh? And I think some of these river monsters are, like, weirdly not weak to lightning. Let me see. What's my White Mage? Does he have? Yeah, he needs the inn to get one more magic point in level 5. I I know this is kind of an expensive inn. Costs a lot more than the tents that I just bought, or the sleep stacks that I just bought. I'm going to get out of this one, because these guys can poison, and they can hit hard, and they're nasty. There's one poison. But I like that all of my consumable items are at the top of my inventory. I also love that you can dash in the canoe. I think that's fantastic. Yeah, I'm getting used to the button combination. So up will take you down to equipment, pushing up. Pushing right takes you down to run. Excellent. So there are some things about this game that I do enjoy more than the old the NES version. I need to sort. Yeah. There we go. And I think it's up and over and over. Up and then right, I think. And then left over to the volcano, if I remember correctly. These guys I don't think are great for 120 experience. Totally jacked for gold. Yeah, there we go. That's what I want there. And let's hope, I fought some of these guys earlier. Let's hope with another level and a little bit better sword of my fighter, I can one round one of them. Ouch. Yeah, there we go. So yeah, much less chance of doubling, which is, it's interesting. I'm also just kind of noticing my guys are a little bit less powered than I'm used to, but I'm not sure if that's just because of the classes I'm using. Because I'm not using Fighter, Fighter, Red Mage, Red Mage. That's my guess. I don't really have any numerical data to back that up. But it just seems like we're not doing as much. Now, also, my fighter didn't have access to the Silver Sword until just recently. And actually, by the time I had access to it, I bought it in Crescent Lake, not remembering that I was going to be finding an ice sword in the Castle of Ordeals almost immediately after. So I shouldn't have bought the Silver Sword. So if I ever do a write-up or something of the like about this, I would make a note of that if you just have one sword-wielding character, it's probably not worth it to buy the Silver Sword. Or it's called a Mithril Sword in this version. Which I wouldn't have thought. Alright, here we go. Love this music. Ooh, yikes. Yikes, with battles like this, who needs enemies? And here we go again. We're going to be Heel Staff and Gauntlets every time. Heel Staff and Gauntlets all day. Because I think I can outpace the damage even of these guys, I think, with Heel Staff and Gauntlets. I should be able to outpace just about any combo that they'll throw at me in this dungeon, but I still am going to go out and save. Just barring something weird happening with Carrie or with the flame dragon down at the bottom. I do have bar fire, but in case I don't get that off or something, some weird stuff can happen. There we go. And I'm never very efficient in clearing out the next floor, because I am never very good with remembering where all the chests are and what the most efficient way to get to them is, so I'm never very good about getting it as quickly as I probably should be. Alright, that's actually pretty good that he targeted him. These guys will probably take me a few rounds to beat. because I am just a little bit underpowered, but I should gain a level or two with everybody while I'm down here. Definitely the Black Mage should be fairly close, actually. There we go. And I'm waiting for my black belt to roll over and get 6 hits. I'm not sure when that's going to happen. I think I already have... Yeah, I already have a silver helmet. Yep. And this game will let you see what's in a chest before you open it, which is a great feature. So later on, when I am full on armor, I can see what's in the chest and see if it's worth dropping something, which is nice. Yeah, and I'll need that heal staff just about every round. Oh, actually, yeah, not this round, I don't think, because we're pretty close. But after I clear this floor, I will head back and save again. Let's see. I don't remember which ones of these are protected. Ooh, this is kind of a nasty battle to run into. If I remember. I think on my last run-through of this one, I ran into a red dragon, which I think is a very rare enemy to do a random battle with down here. But I was able to fight through it. Nice. Gotta love the money. Yeah, don't like that. Don't like that. Wow. That was nasty. That was nasty. Well. That was something. Okay, so that one needs to get grabbed yet. So I'll have to go back in there and run through that whole rigmarole again. That's okay. But wow, just glare dead. Glare dead on an ambush attack. So we could have gotten 3 of those. That's why you save. That's why you save. Yeah, he needed a little bit more. Oops. There we go, that's the one I want. Alright, so there's one chest I need to get yet. And yeah, these guys are... Ooh, double fire elemental. Ouch. Ooh, this is a nasty battle. This is a bad one. These guys really hit hard. Ooh, and I'm glad I got him with a good bolt too there. Ooh, that was almost, that top one's probably almost dead. Let's see if I can take him out just with the black belts and the gauntlets. See if we can get them quickly. Yeah, my mages are really hurting for health. All right, good. So just the black belt got him, and that bottom one's taking a couple of good hits from the gauntlets. Just excellent. There we go. So far, the floor is not going too bad. Did have to use a life spell, which is not great. And let's see, is this the big room? Yeah, this is the big treasure room. Horn Devil, I think these would be the red goyles in another life. The Argoyles. Argoyle, like gargoyle. Argoyle. But yeah, I'm glad I can take one out there. Ooh, yes, this is nasty. We need to get some more attacks off. Yeah. Ouch. 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 That hurts a lot. That hurts a lot. Yeah. Wow. So I actually am gonna have to probably run back to town after I clear this first floor. I'm gonna have to run back to town because I would like to have those life charges for the lower floors of the dungeon here. And I'm gonna be using my second life charge right now because I don't want him to be too far behind on experience, farther behind than he already is. Yowzers, we're really getting some tough enemy combos here. This is really proving to be kind of a rough dungeon already. Or at least we were able to one-round one of the fires. Thankfully, we were able to one-round that fire. But wow. Alright, keep going after the fighter. He's got some hit points to spare. That's the kind of crit we need. I'm going to heal up my white mage. A little bit. Because there's some of these are protected by gray worms, I believe. Alright, yeah. I'm gonna get some money from these guys, so let me knock out one of these things. I'll drop the gloves. Because I do like the money that I'll get from selling these things. And I can do that when I go back to town, I guess, to... So tent is cabin in this one. Yeah, this is a protected square. Here's the gray worm, lava worm. And there's more of these protected chests later on. And I'm gonna get the flame sword down here. I think that one's protected. That might be by gray worms also. Lava worm. Whatever. Here we go. Okay. Okay. Alright, so we got level 14 on the fighter. He's ahead of all the other ones, but he's not too far ahead of the white mage and the black belt, so they might be getting them soonish, which is good. Mithril axe. Mithril shield. Let's drop not the gauntlets. Woohoo! The gloves. Oops, I need over. Drop the gloves, not the gauntlets, and that's money. Alright. So that's a trap square then. Clearly. So he's gonna need a couple of heal potions. Actually, I hope he survives this battle. Alright, that's good. And heal staff, okay, that'll bring him closer to 100. Thank you. But yeah, I definitely will have to head back to Crescent Lake to heal up, because I want those charges of life back. But these are battles, I think, as long as the giants attack my my upper guys that have a little bit more absorb, I should be able to use these battles to heal up, and it's nice chunk of experience to get. Hopefully the white mage and the black belt will both have gotten their next level by the time we get out of here and back to town. The black mage will still have a little ways to go. Yeah, let's go with that. Alright, good. So there's the black belt, and there's the white mage. So just what I was hoping. And did that get him? Okay, so still not an extra. I would have loved if that level had gotten an extra charge of the level 5 spells. It did not. Can I get... No, I can't get there, but I think I can get out this way. And this battle is definitely one that I can use to heal up. These guys really can't do too much to me. Yeah, good. Yeah, he casts Blink or Ruse on himself. So he might survive this one. This round. Hola, Ark. Hello and hello. I'm in the volcano, as you see. I got through the Castle of Ordeals on the first try. Just kind of went right on through, got everything I needed. I noticed there's no double chest with the heal staff. That's a thing they changed in this version. There's no connected chest with the healing staff, which is nice, I guess. Now that I know it's there, it's nice enough. I think I can get out this way, though. Let's see. Yes, I can get out this way. And is there anything in this last room? I can never remember if there's anything in the last room. There's one other chest that I want. I don't want to fight this battle. There's one other chest that I need to grab in here before I head out to save. You did a sequence break, eh? What was your... Oh, no, nothing in there. What was the sequence break? If you can summarize it quickly or easily. Yeah, let's try to get this off so they don't kill anybody. Okay, good. Glad they killed my black mage earlier. That enemy. You did Lich, Tiamat, Kraken, and then carry, huh? Clear enough? Well, I understand what all that means. I'm not sure how you got there, but ooh, he's close. I should have healed him up a little bit more. I'm trying to, as I'm fighting this battle, I'm trying to figure out how you executed the sequence break, but I cannot think of a way, at least in the version of the game that I'm familiar with, that you could do that. So, why don't you enlighten me if it's easy to explain, if it's not too convoluted to explain. Thank you for the clear enough Kappa. I think I've already gotten this one. Okay, alright, so yeah, okay. I guess you just get you still beat Lich. Yeah, so I guess, yeah, once you beat Lich, sure. Sorry, my emulator is getting a little laggy there. I'm sorry about that. Yeah, I guess once you beat Lich and you have the canoe, you can do whatever you want. Yeah. I guess there's no reason for me to be in the volcano here. I could certainly, yeah. I could certainly go and get whatever I wanted next, couldn't I? Wow. This room always takes me a long time to clear out. But I do want to be thorough, so I have to head back to town. I don't want to miss anything, because I do have to do some selling of stuff in town. So I bet by the time you had beaten Kraken and Tiamat, I bet doing the Volcano and carry was kind of a cinch. Ouch. Yeah, you can get, ambushed by those dark elves, like the, I think they're probably called the mage type enemies in the NES version. I think they're called mage. They have the same sprite as Astos, and I think they're called mage. Let's see. That's the one I need. There's a chest sticking out there that's bothering me that I need to get. Because, yeah, those mage enemies, if they're the ones I'm thinking about, they're the ones that can cast rub or death or something on you, kind of like Astos does. And Dark Elf certainly makes sense because they share the sprite with Astos there. Alright. Can I get through it this way? Yes, I can. This is a battle that I lost my Black Mage in earlier. Okay, good. Let's get out of here. So hopefully we just get out. Yeah, so in that battle before I got ambushed and they just glared and got my Black Mage right away. Easy as you please. Oh, and they're unrunnable too. Okay. Yeah, they if I remember correctly, those guys are guarding that crappy piece of armor that's in there, the shirt, this piece of cloth armor. And I'm not sure if they're unrunnable because if you can ambush, I think those battles that you can have first strike or ambush, I think in the NES version anyway, those battles are all runnable. If you can get a strike first or a back attack, then they are runnable. But that little bit may have changed in the Origins, Dawn of Souls versions. That I don't know. That may have been something they fixed up. So I think this is the last chest I need to grab on this floor. So after this, and a quick errand back to town, the rest of the Volcano shouldn't take me very long. I just have to make sure I get the flame sword and the flame armor. You never live long enough. Yeah, they can take you out pretty quickly, can't they? Yes, they can. Yeah, so I'm noticing my my Black Mage in this version, they don't use. Okay, good. So he's even got that level up. So he'll have an extra charge now. Oh, I think that's the giant sword. Oops, I need to look at the stats. It is 4574. This is not going to be better than the what I have. 4574 and yeah, 3769. So it was not going to be better than this. When you say can Mind Flayers ambush, in the NES version, I don't believe the wizards can ambush you. I think so. That's part of the thing is that they can't ambush and you can't strike first on them. Even on the times when you fight them as a random battle later. Now I'm not sure about sorcerers, which I don't remember how they're translated in the other version. But wizards, or are wizards Pisco demons and sorcerers are Mind Flayers? I can't remember which is which. Oops. Alright, there we go. I'm building a little bit of extra hit points now. There we go. Alright, let's just get out of this place. Ooh, yes. Oops. Run. And just run. Let's just go. Okay, alright. Yeah, so there we go. Yeah, Pisco Demons are wizards, I think, in the NES version, and then the Mind Flayers are sorcerers. Because Mind Flayers have the touch you when you die attack. Touch you when you die. I like that. SM Skull. I like that that emote. And let's just get out of here. So you started another FF2 run. Well, good luck. Have fun with that. I hope you'll forgive me if I do not join you in that run. Hope you'll forgive me if I am just here playing the various versions of FF1. And soon I'm going to start training for FF5. The Fiesta is going to be coming upon us sooner than we think. Actually, my birthday's in May, and I think I'm going to do a marathon stream of FF5 in May. I'll do a full playthrough on my birthday. So be on the lookout for that if you are interested in that. I might do like a simulated 4-job Fiesta marathon in May where I roll up some random jobs for myself and try to do a full day run through. Uh-oh. I have a spam spider. This is my first spam spider. Awesome. I've never been a big enough streamer to have a spam spider. Yes, let me go ahead and take care of that. It will get a little bit... Yeah, there we go. Cool. Sorry about that. My, There we go. My stream can't really handle me clicking around, so it, when I went to go ban that, the spam bot, it, got a little crazy. There we go. Yes, I don't know about G2A either. Alright, let me do a quick save out here, because I do have to head back to town also. As lame as that is, I've got to get my spell charges back for the White Mage. My charges of life back. Oh, is Sonicu, is that what that spam bot was promoting? That G2A site? Oh, so they sell like stolen keys? Okay. Because I don't actually use Steam. I've never bought a game on Steam, so I'm not sure how it works, but I guess I assume that there is some kind of key that you get to make sure that you can't, some kind of anti-piracy measure to try to prevent you from selling or transferring stuff, although I don't know how it works, because like I said, I don't use it. Okay, that's usually the spam bots are on there. Well, I feel proud that the spam bots have found my chat. I mean, annoyed, but also proud. Just like I recently, on a more personal note, I have a book that I published, and I recently found it being ripped off on a Chinese site, and I felt so proud that my work is big enough now to be ripped off by a Chinese site and resold illegally. You know you've made it. So Ark, this version of the game, I enjoy it. I like it. I'm glad I'm using the mages, because it's forcing me to use magic a little bit more, and I can see that the intelligence bug definitely makes a significant difference. I'm also watching my black belt, and I'm just kind of getting into the part of the game where the black belt starts to be good. Before this, I was just annoyed. Yeah, that's right. When you get on Pirate Bay and you didn't put yourself there, you know you've made it. I don't like this battle. So I'm glad I'm using the magic. I'm hoping the black belt will be good now that we're starting to reach the point in the game when they can really hit hard. I'm going to sell off a bunch of weapons. The enemy balance I like. I'm liking most things that I'm seeing on here. So that's a short answer to your question. I don't know, I wouldn't ever probably totally give up the NES version, of course. But this certainly is, I've enjoyed playing through it so far. I think another version, I might try the boss doubled hit points on this one sometime. I might try that one. Yes, and my silver bracelet, there we go. So now I have a little bit of extra money. And I've got that. Let me see how close to the level up my black mage... Oh, he already got the level up, so never mind. We're all set. So back to the volcano. So I think the next version I might try the doubled boss hit points, and then I found another one that Sir System Error wrote about on his website. It's called Final Fantasy ZZ or FFZZ. I don't know if you're familiar with it. It's just done by a by an author. Okay, yeah, the doubled HP would make it similar to Origins, minus the intelligence fix and probably the crit fix. I don't know if the intelligence fix is an option here on this. The patch, it probably is. They have a lot of optional patches, but the next one I think is going to be FFZZ, which is much more of a total conversion than a bug fix. So he's made Astos a random battle you can run into at different parts of the game. So it's kind of a Kaizo Final Fantasy. There's a lot of things have changed. He invented a bunch of new equipment, so there's new items that do different things and new spells that do different things. So it's like I said, more of a total conversion than a hack or a patch. So he's moved some things around. There's chests in different places with different stuff. Well, I've never played a total conversion, so it'll be my first one. So maybe after that I will have an opinion, but I'm going to have an open mind about it to start. Because I've never played one. Oops, I've never played one before. Yeah, and bug fixing patches certainly are valid. I'm intrigued by the concept of total conversions. I may not like it. Might be tough for me to finish it, because if it has some annoying things in it, or if I have to do a lot of extra grinding or like reading up on a lot of extra stuff, I might not enjoy it. But we'll see. And I haven't really committed to doing it yet. I would have to try it off stream before I would commit to streaming it. I still have to download it and try it on a patch ROM. Actually, yeah, I have to head back and get that extra charge. I didn't realize he was so close to getting another charge, so I am going to get that extra charge of life right quick. That'll make me a little bit more comfortable going down into the volcano. So, have you tried Yeah, have you tried other total conversions? Then I'm assuming you have. You seems like you are more knowledgeable about them than I. Because I don't really know very much about them. I just kind of know that they exist. But so in your opinion, they usually just add extra needless grinding to make the game a little bit longer? Pokemon Blaze Black. I don't know that one. Oops, I'm poisoned. Pokemon Blaze Black, huh? I don't know that one. Let me just see how close. Okay, so he's 3,000 away from the next level. I can safely stay at this inn. Okay, so it just makes the levels higher. I guess that's kind of a cheap and easy way to make a game harder, an RPG harder. Just bump up the difficulty and force you to grind. That's one way to do it. It's not a creative way, I suppose, but it's certainly one way you can turn up the challenge. And maybe that's what this one is, the Final Fantasy ZZ. Maybe it is just requires a bunch of extra grinding. But I do know that there are some new pieces of equipment and new spells that I've read do some interesting things. I can't remember what they are, but like makes uses of a few things that aren't really used much in the NES version that I'd be interested in just seeing. Oh, you can't get past the third gym? Yeah, if you are having trouble on the third gym in a Pokemon game, then you know you've got a very hard version of the game. Usually Pokemon games are pretty breezy for the first half or 2/3 of the game. And I think that's by design they've made them breezy. Alright, so let's give this volcano another shot. It shouldn't take too long to go through it now that I've got this room cleared out. It's the bug gym too while you're getting torched in the bug gym. Wow. Or it's Whitney from Gen 2. Yes. Whitney, the gym leader. Alright, game saved. Let's do it. And here I might get wiped out now again. Because these guys might just cast Fire 2 on me all the way through. I'm going to use one of my charges. See, now that time they didn't. Earlier I got blasted by those guys. Fire 2. That time, they let me off the hook easy. Alright, now I think the flame sword is off to the left in one of these rooms. I'm not sure which one. But there's not nearly as much running around from here on out. The only other thing I need, I want that flame sword. And then I need to get I'll get the flame armor. Running is fixed. It's not necessarily easier, but I understand that it does get easier as your levels and stats go up. So it doesn't use the same, the broken number that it uses in the NES version. Yes, and so yeah, it does work as it was supposed to. So it does, the luck stat now does work. So as your stats go up, it does get easier to run, especially from the easier monsters. So yes, that might make Thief a little bit better, especially if you're trying to do a speed run or something where you're not wanting to fight a lot of battles. See, there we go. And yeah, I think here is where I need to head over to the left. Alright, good. This battle is timed well for me to just get some life back from my heal staff. Yeah, no, you're right. Speedruns wouldn't use a ROM hack. I meant if you're just kind of if you're trying to speedrun the ROM hack in its own category, you would never get it listed on a site like SDA, but you could speedrun the ROM hack. I mean, much like some FF5 speedrunners speedrun the SNES version with the text hack, which SDA does not recognize, but a lot of them learn that in addition to the Japanese version, because that's a little bit more enjoyable to stream and a little bit more popular to watch on stream. Wowzers. It's not here. Where is that flame sword? I need to make sure my health is not abysmal. So we can get out of here without getting taken out. Alright, there's one dead. That's too bad. Yeah, the PS1 version, go to hell. That's what I think the speedrunners also have to say about the PS1 version. So they will play it with the Super NES version with the hack, which we all know and love. Alright, and don't forget to heal up your black belts. Whoops. There we go. So it must not be in this room. The stairs are over here. Yes. Okay, so is this where I'm going to start running into... Alright, actually these Agamas are great for restoring life, so I might fight a few of these guys to get my life up. Once there's a couple of trapped squares, there's a couple of chests with trapped squares with Agamas on them. I didn't, sadly, get a chance to fire off the heal staff in that battle. I probably should have stalled a little bit to get a couple of heal staff charges up, but that's okay. There we go. That'll help. Every little bit helps. But he knocked my black mage back down below 100, which is not great. But he's always going to be below 100. All right, there we go. That'll help again. Because one of the speedrun routes of this has them grinding in one of the Agama chests. Wow, so that is quite a strong hack for the Pokemon game, I mean. Alright, so this is where I think the Flame Sword is off to the left here. So I wasn't totally dreaming about that, because I believe it is just off here in that room up there. These guys have that cremate ability, so I'm going to try to take these guys out as quickly as I can. There we go, there's one down. And good, we get the healing staff off. Yeah, taking on a gym leader that strong by the third gym looks pretty tricky. Okay, so it's called Flame, not Cremate. Interesting. Do you ask about the RNG? I've tried to kind of watch for it, but I haven't really noticed anything all that different. Although I never, used to watch it as closely as someone who was really studying the game might. There's an extra ice sword. That's good. I'll take this. But yeah, I do have the extra RNG thing turned on to see if I did notice anything different. So, I mean, I guess I have noticed in the sea battle you don't get that free, fight with the Buccaneers, or the Kaizokus. So you don't get that. I guess that's one thing I've noticed. They've taken out that little fun part of the step counter. But if I played this game a lot, I'm sure I would notice the difference. If I was used to watching for those kinds of things, I'm sure I'd notice the difference. Alright, cool. Flame Shield is what I want. And I have 2 ice brands now, correct? Yes. Are the empty chests in the Marsh Cave, are those double chests? Are those what those are? Alright, that's the one I was in before. And this is the one that has the double Agama fight. So I will get a little bit of life back from these guys. So I'll do this just to kind of, yeah, double chest. So those, yeah, I read in the FAQ on this one, or the README in this one, that they took out the double chest. I had forgotten about it until today, when I ran into it with the heal staff. That's one of the places where they do it. That's such a strange thing. I wonder why they chose to do that back then. It seems like a strange choice. I just wonder what the thinking was when they chose to do that. Yeah, only the Marsh Cave has a lot of them, huh? Yeah, that's strange. Let's see if I can get my my black belt up. Ooh, that's nasty. He has a flame attack. Never mind. Should ask Kawazu. Yes, that's right. Alright, there we go. I wasn't able to get as much back as I wanted to. And yeah, this is another trapped battle with another Agama. Fire Lizard, of course, in this version. And I just hope he doesn't use that nasty flame attack again. See if we can get a... Nope, no heal staff off this time. I'll fight one more on the next square here on my way out. He's the one who got the D&D mechanics onto NES, huh? Yeah, I don't know about any double chests in D&D. Having played some D&D, I suppose you could make them specifically, but they're not like a core part of the game. Alright. Yes, you need the healing. There we go. So at least he can make coherent games. I like that. Very nice. So yeah, after Carrie, I think I will give the Ice Cave a try. Although I have heard it's quite difficult in this version. Someone told me it was more difficult in this version than in the NES version, but the person didn't elaborate as to how or why. They popped into my chat just to tell me, good luck on the Ice Cave, dude. And I have not seen them back since. So I don't know what would be more or less threatening about it, but... Alright, so I think there's an Agama battle here. Ooh, they're crosses. That was one of the fixes. I'm going to take a screenshot of that. So I think there's an Agama battle on the way in and on the way out of this. Here we go. Here's the Agama. So I'm going to try to get my bar fire spell off right away when we run into the red dragon. And I'll try to get my fast spell off on the fighter quickly, so we can try to take it out in as few rounds as we can. Yeah, I mean, the DM could do that in practice. Sure, of course they could. It's just not like, I mean, but in D&D, you know, everything is possible in D&D. You know, you're talking out of, you know, you're not talking out of anything but your typing fingers. I don't know what's the most appropriate way to say that. Okay, here's the red D. So let's see if we can get our bar fire spell off right away. And let's get haste on the fighter first. Alright, well at least we'll get a nice attack off. And there's bar fire. Okay. Battle 1. There's not much he can do in that case. So that was all it took. And up to 16. Good. Alright. That's the kind of stuff I want. This is how I was hoping things would go down here. Alright, flame armor. Flame shield. We're good. Hit points. Oop, nope. Black mage needs hit points. Alright, cool. Another Agama fight, but no big deal. Yes, I believe the turn order has been fixed in this one. Turn order has been fixed in this one, but yes, you're right. It randomizes, let's see, in the NES one, I used to remember how this worked. But it randomized your turns and the enemy turns separately, and it put you in the order separately. It didn't shuffle them all equally. It did them each on their own, which was, I thought, really strange. This battle I think we can take. With these guys just doing physical attacks, I think we can take this battle. As long as they're concentrating on the fighter. Use this to get some of that health back. And we should be able to take out these guys in one round each. I hope. Has the fighter gone yet? No. So this should take out one bull. Yep. This will give us a little bit more health going into carry. And a little bit more experience, because this will be a nice experience in gold. Also, the math behind FF5, so things like how strength goes with the multipliers and all that, and the attack and defense stuff. If you're unfamiliar with it, I would recommend checking it out because it is very interesting how it works, how the multipliers work. It is very interesting, but I mean, I know you know the game very well, so clearly knowledge of math is not required to know the game very well. So yeah, generally an attack is you've got your weapon attack minus enemy defense times M, and then M is like strength. Let's see, strength times level divided by 256 plus 2, but there's some different calculations depending on what kind of weapon you have, and things like weaknesses and row all have impacts on that stuff. But yeah, it depends generally on the weapon. So like swords do a random number on the attack between 100% and 125% of your attack. Axes, their attack is between 50% and 150% of your attack. It's interesting if you're into that kind of stuff. If you're not, it's boring, and you don't have to worry about it. But if you like that kind of stuff, it's cool. I'm gonna heal up a little bit. Yes, weaknesses add ×2, and I think it's to the attack, not to the multiplier. They don't do it at the end. Yeah, and that's right, Soniku. Axes quarter the enemy defense. That is correct. So they're very random, but they have the potential to be very, very high in damage. But also very, very random. Yeah. So each weapon has a different way that damage is calculated from it. Okay, let me think about carry here. Just put my plan in place. I'm gonna get a screenshot of this. The Tinder, defeat the Fiend of Earth. Yeah, okay, she does call you Tinder in the NES version. She calls you Tinder. I'm Marileth, destroy the power of fire, burn its flames. Okay, so that's very similar to the NES version. Here's the Fiend music again. Axes damage Omega. Oh yeah, I've never used an axe on Omega. You'd have to get through his evasion. You'd have to do it with like a hunter with X-Bite or something, I guess, to be able to touch him. Because he has that high evade. Okay, attack, attack, bar fire right off the bat, and haste right off the bat for him. Okay, good. We got haste on the fighter. I'm probably also going to have to get... Let me see what kind of damage we're doing. Yeah, not much. Alright, cool. So we're going to have to get temper going also on these. Alright, so I got my bar fire... my bar fire down. So there's really not much more she can do. He or she can do, I should say. So let's temper the fighter. I maybe should have hasted the black belt on that round. Carrie and Tiamat acknowledge the fiends that you killed. Okay. That's interesting. Alright, let's see. There we go. So there's carry down. There's carry down. Like that. Like that. And there we go. So it fixed this also. In the NES version, some of the altars didn't trigger that there is something here. Just get a screenshot of that. Some of the altars just said nothing here when you did that. Alright, cool. So Volcano done. So I am going to try the ice cave. I do have time to probably do one attempt on the ice cave if it's kind to me. Of course, I'd love to get it first try. Yeah, I don't really need that. Yeah, so I mean, yeah, it's never kind. You're right. It's never kind. So I can't remember which ones it's broken on, but yeah, there's something about it just looks up the wrong address. So there must have been a piece of text in the game that says the Altar of Fire, but they didn't code it to point to that correctly in the right spot. So I think they fixed it there. I'd have to read the file. Those are an echo in the game audio? Huh. Alright, the mic's back on. Mic's back on now. So I don't know if it's still echoing. That's a problem. My speakers aren't on. But it might be, I don't know. My mic is not the best. It's gone, no echo. Okay, good. Thank you. Thank you for letting me know. I'm glad that just turning the mic off and back on set that correct. Thanks for letting me know on that, guys. You know I don't have the best setup in the world for streaming. Someday I'm going to have a nicer setup for streaming, and then I might do it more often. But until then, I've got my kind of janky setup here. Thank you for letting me know on that again, guys. Don't ever feel bad about helping me like that. I know some streamers get really sensitive when commenters offer constructive feedback like that. But I know you're just trying to help me make a better experience on the user end. So I appreciate that. All right. Let me see... Okay, she has a level 6 charge now, so that's good. And I wonder how close my Black Mage is to a level 6 charge. Let's see. Can she learn this? Yeah, she can't learn that yet. In Viz 2 she can, though. No? Not in Viz 2? You haven't encountered one insensitive one yet. Nice. Well, then, then that's... Maybe I'm your first, I guess. Hello, Andy Hope. Hello, Andy Hope. Alright, so, yeah. Can we learn Protect? Okay, she can learn Protect. Let me see how close my Black Mage is. 1337. Well, he's a few battles away. I'm gonna try to take on the Ice Cave today here, Andy. I'm trying to decide if it's worth, yeah, I will do it just to make it a little bit easier. I will try to gain another level here with that Black Mage. He's just 1,000 or so points away. This is going to be a gross battle, but I'll try to do it quickly here, because if I can get a charge of that extra Thundaga Bolt 3 spell, that should make the Ice Cave a little bit easier, and increase my chances of getting it on the first try. I can't believe no poison yet. That's amazing. Oh, okay, so you prefer to see it as FF4, clearly, even if they're playing the Super NES version. Alright? I guess I would agree with that. Sorry, a couple more battles here, guys. I know grinding on stream is not great. So, Andy, our new guest, this is a ROM hack of Final Fantasy. I don't know if you're familiar with it, but it fixes a lot of the bugs in the old Final Fantasy games. So if there's anything you're not sure of, just go ahead and ask. Both myself and R6 and Soniku are pretty knowledgeable about the game and the hack. So we're happy to answer your questions if you have any. This might get me a lot closer to that level up I need, and it should just take us another couple of battles. Yeah, fixed about a third of the game. Yeah. Oh, so the Twitch badge for the game is different on FF2 and FF4. That's one I've never streamed before. I've played the SNES version, the US one. I've also played a translated version. There's the level up I needed. I've also played the a translated Japanese version of the Super NES one, but that was a long time ago. Yeah, Twitch, they love their newer version. If you follow FF3, it's different. Oh, it takes you to FF6 810K2. That's interesting. I didn't know that. Does it assume that nobody cares about FF3? Or does it have a different name or something on the remakes? I'm just going to buy my spell and be on my way to the Ice Cave. Alright, there we go. FF3 still has the tag, huh? That's interesting. Hello, Shahali. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Good to have you all here on this afternoon, morning, or evening, depending on where you are. Actually, I'm just going to run from this. I'm going to save my resources for the Ice Cave, so I can give it a try. There we go. So I've heard that the ice cave is nasty in this version, but it's nasty in every version, so I will, hopefully we will all see just how different the nastiness is. Yes, Shahali's popped in here before. 810K2, I don't know if I've seen you, but if I have and I've forgotten, I'm very sorry, but welcome. I'm very happy to have you here. Let me make sure that this is the right way to go through this one. Yes, Shahali, this is the first time I'm playing through the patch myself, so yeah, I think this is the right way. So we're all kind of learning together. I'm going to try to conserve my spell charges and resources, so, well, you know, one thing I might... Okay, 58 potions, I should be okay. Echo's back, shoot. Sorry about that. I'll try the mic off and on again. I'll be back on the mic in a minute. Alright, so I'm back on the mic. Huh. Alright, here's... So what I did is I now turned my, I turned the volume all the way down in my earpiece. So let me know if the echo is still going. Let me know if the echo is still happening now that I'm back on the mic. I'll watch the chat here because I know we've got a little bit of the lag there. I'll have to listen on that. It might be that my Charlie likes FF2, yeah? Well, hey, if you like FF2, that's great. It's probably time for me to give it another try. It's probably time for me to give it one more go. You know, I've played it a couple times, I've tried. But it's probably high time that I got back on the horse. I probably need to try one of the newer versions of it, though. Would it be better if I did it on the Dawn of Souls version than the NES game with the old translation patch? Alright, Hydras. Man, I'm just trying to get the ice cave. Come on, come on. Alright. So I can heal up and try this thing out. Okay, so FF2 on Dawn of Souls is much kinder. And Ark, your vote is for Origins or PSP. Alright, well, the one I have more immediate access to would be the Dawn of Souls version. That would be the one that I have an easier chance playing right away. Okay. Sorry about the echo. I'm not sure what's going on. I'll have to take a listen to it when I finish here, which hopefully will be after I get through the ice cave, and I'll try to fix up something. I might need some new equipment. I've been thinking about getting a different microphone anyway. Okay, so I probably would rely heavily if I was playing it, because the way I was doing it probably was not the best way to do it. All right, here we go. Ark, I'm sure Ark knows FF2 quite well. Ark is my connection for a lot of games, for knowing them. Let me get the I boss up here, so we all know where we're going. And party wipe. Look at this. Hey, here's a fun one. Nice. Sleep, not great. Okay, cool, we got out of that one. There's one. Hey, look at this one. Here we go. What a mess this is, huh? Yeah, it might be worth this one. Might be worth using. I don't want to use it so early, but I was hoping I can get a turn a little bit more quickly. Yeah, this is pretty nasty. Yeah, and so I didn't think so. Shahali, you pointed out you didn't think they came in 7. I didn't think so either. That might be something that's different in this hack. I didn't think you could get more than 5, but I may have been wrong about that. I might have been dreaming that. But I'm glad I'm not the only one who wasn't sure about it. All right, so not too bad. 7 of them, though. Yikes. I don't know if that bodes ill for the rest of this dungeon. If there's going to be even nastier stuff to deal with. This is the big square floor. Alright. Yeah, 9 would be bad. Now, especially now that I'm out of both 3s. 9 would not be good. So I've got the White Mage to help me with these undead battles, but as long as I can get these strike first, I'm just going to run while they're giving me the chance. I do like the dash button in this hack, and I'm sure you guys have noticed that now. Ooh, here's the wizards. Oh, ho, 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 ho. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, this is bad here. This one's bad here, guys. And losing the White Mage is losing the White Mage is bad. Actually, it's going to be probably better if I just reset. Yeah, well, that'll do me anyway. But that was going to be faster than walking out and going to the inn and all that. That was going to be faster. So let's make it the ice cave. Let's make it official. All right, here we go. One more time. All right, 5 is not so bad. I'm okay with 5. Probably don't need to burn my Sundaga spell if I just have 5 here. Is it bad when I yell? I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'll try to keep my voice down. Or is it getting worse? No, I don't have a phone nearby. I don't have any electronics near me. I don't have like a TV or a radio going nearby. I'm really sorry. I feel embarrassed that I'm putting on a stream that is subpar to watch, but I can't actually hear myself. So I don't know what kind of would you guys prefer it if I just turned the mic off? If you guys would like it if I just turned my microphone off and just played through the rest of this dungeon, let me know. I don't necessarily need to be talking, but if you guys would rather that than whatever you're listening to, please let me know. I'd be fine doing that. I would not be embarrassed to do that at all. And then I can take a look at it before the next stream. Keep the voice. Okay. We have one vote for keep the voice. Okay. Yes. Well, I enjoy watching him and interacting as well. So yes, I'll keep it on. Hopefully I can get through the ice cave without too many more problems, and then I can take a look at my equipment here. But I've been thinking about getting a